guys, how's it going? It's time again here with Donnie, and we are going to talk about the Romanian Muscle Fest that was this weekend. Badass lineup. I mean, Samson
Yeah,
came
it was
in,
deep.
and Samson didn't win it with flying colors either, like
Right,
I
right,
thought he would. But
right.
you know,
He
we're
got pushed.
a week later from the Olympia, and Samson's doing a show. I think it's awesome to see him up there. What'd you think about it?
I thought, I didn't know what to expect initially, but like I said, it wasn't a runaway. You know,
No,
you
no,
had you had you had the front runners in the Olympia. They came, and they showed out.
yeah,
Urs did the same thing in the classic physique. He just dominated that. So
yeah.
yeah, it was a pretty decent lineup.
So, what did you think about Beirut? He was
I
impressive.
thought Yeah, he was very impressive. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it to the Olympia. I
No,
would like to
no.
see how that would have turned out for him and stuff. So,
And the same thing with
but
Nathan Biasha. He wasn't able to make it either.
right,
But
right,
they were
right,
both supposed to
right,
be at the
and
Olympia.
and
You
which is
know?
a which is a that was a big one for Nathan because
Yeah.
he didn't even make the top three. I think he
No.
got fourth or something in that
Yeah, he got
thing,
fourth. Yeah.
and he
So,
was on a fairly decent. He was on a fairly decent streak there. He was on a fairly decent roll.
from what I understand, he's got a lot of criminal problems over there, pending and just stuff he's gotten in trouble for. And I think that had probably a lot to do with him not being able to come over here. Uh,
Yeah, he seemed kind of small in that lineup. I
yes,
mean,
and that's the other
Samson
thing.
really
He did
made
not
him,
come in as he
and he's
normally
not a
did.
Samson, and Diasher's not a small bodybuilder,
No,
but he
no.
he looked small in that lineup.
Yeah, you're right. And also Samson, he wasn't as crisp as he was at the Olympia, but I like this look. He was fuller than he was at the Olympia. I prefer that look on him. I mean, he was crisp enough to win, but he wasn't as crisp as he was at the Olympia. I think he has probably a lot of problem holding water under his skin. I think he just got thick skin. You know what I mean?
That
And
could,
that's
yeah, yeah,
and that's probably something that as because he's fairly new, and I mean he's got so much potential. I think it's probably something he's gonna it's gonna pan out in the end. You know what I mean? He's just gonna get accustomed to it.
I mean, we'll see. That's all we can do. We can only see how this thing pans out for him and stuff. So you
Yeah,
know,
10 grand. No, I mean hell, a week later from the Olympia, he gets third place, goes and pulls 10 grand this weekend. He can take a break for a while. I'm
I
gonna
was
pull
I
up
was
the
I was I was more impressed with Urs in the classic physique though. I mean, he just destroyed that. I mean,
yeah. So
goodness
so
gracious.
what we had Visser won it. Wesley Visser won classic. Uh, is that who you mean, Wesley Visser?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Visser won classic, and he was more impressive at this show than he was in Olympia too. Because I don't know what did he pull? What did he pull at the Olympia? He didn't pull fifth, did he?
I can't remember right off that.
I think he was on my fifth. He was my fifth pick, but I don't think he pulled fifth. I think he might have got sixth. And Ahmad won
Okay.
212. With flying colors too. I thought
Say again?
Ahmad won the 212.
Yes.
So that was pretty sweet to see.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I got the scorecards up right now on the open, and Samson got a perfect score. So he got three at prejudging and three at finals. So he got a perfect score. He was winning the whole time. But Beirut, see, I was seeing, I was watching posts because during this whole time he tried attempting to get over here and he couldn't. And I'm
Yeah.
seeing all these posts of him, and this guy's like, because he's one of Milos's guys.
Right,
And
right,
I
right.
mean, he's just peeled, he's huge and everything. So, he's just not as big as Samson, but Beirut he's gonna be a
I,
threat
I,
soon.
I saw him as a solid second in that show.
Yeah, exactly.
And watching the lineup and stuff, I had to think about it. How do you think he would have did in Olympia if he was able to show up?
It's
Would
hard
he
to
would
say.
he, would he have spoiled some folks? I
I
mean,
mean, he might have knocked somebody out of line. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Out of top five. I mean, then we got this, what if Nick Walker showed up too? Everything
which
could have been a lot different. That's the cool thing about it. Speaking of Nick Walker, as a matter of fact, apparently this last off season since the Arnold, he cut down on his food. He wasn't eating so much. He just changed his training around, got a new coach, changed his training around, and so that's what he did on the off season, which panned out pretty good for him because I gotta say he was probably top three if he did make it to the stage. I would say at least battling for third. Maybe second or third. I don't know, but so where he's gonna be at next year, it's hard to say. I know he's
at that last Arnold he did though, he was a little downsized and stuff like
he
that.
was.
I don't I mean he's got to bring that fullness and stuff. I mean his freakiness is he's got that freak factor, and that's one of the things that works for him and stuff. So I mean that's fine if you want to get down and you need to get linked, but he's never fat. I
No,
mean
no. He
he's always
stays
he's always in shape. You know what I mean?
but he is 9 pounds heavier than he was in the Arnold stage during this prep.
Okay.
So he
Okay.
added 9 pounds to that. But he
Okay.
switched from what I understand about his training, I think he was a high volume kind of guy. And so he switched his training over to more hit training, I think, like we do.
Okay.
But he switched that all around is what he did. And his food changed a little bit. He just wasn't force feeding as much. He probably didn't need as much food as he was eating. I don't know what he was eating before, but
Yeah, force feeding
yeah.
that can be a drag sometimes, dude. Ooh, boy, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Eating when you're not hungry,
Yeah,
you eat
it
when
sucks.
eating when it's time instead of when you're hungry. That's not a good thing.
That's the nature of the beast, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. So Horse MD. Now I don't know Horse MD. Do you know the guy?
He's got a great structure though.
Yes, he
Good
does.
gracious. He
Yes, he
does.
does.
And I think he pulled third, did he not?
Yep, he pulled third. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, okay, yeah.
he was ahead of Diasha.
Yep. Yep. Marcelo Angelis Resende. Horse MD. Horse MD is a lot easier to say.
Yeah, Horse MD.
Now,
Yeah.
where he got that name, I have no clue, but
Yeah, I mean his structure is off the charts. I mean,
right. What would you
yeah,
say?
it is.
Take the top six. I mean, even had Presti, he was like six, I think. Presti got, and he's phenomenal. Yeah, he got Andre Presti. Let's take the top six from this last Romanian, and let's go. In what comparison could you say? Would you even say it was a good enough comparison to the Olympia, the top six?
I would go more like top 10. I wouldn't say top 6.
Yeah,
It was fairly deep, dude. I
it
mean,
was. It
because that
was.
second lineup, you had Andrew Jack, you had
That's true. Yeah,
these are
that's
guys
true.
these are guys in the second call out. They like obliterated their shows, to win, the qualification and stuff,
Yeah,
So it wasn't like they were barely winning and stuff, I mean,
that's
they were
true.
winning rather convincingly and stuff. And this was the second call out.
Yeah, yeah, and they ran them through the ringer too.
So I don't know about top 6. I know that he's got a lot of potential. He's still a diamond in the rough,
Yeah, totally.
So we'll see where he goes, over the next couple of cycles, about
So
3 years.
speaking of Presti, what could he in your opinion what could he do to better his physique? He's pretty big already, and he's got great abs. He's got a great structure. He's got a good look to him. What could he do differently?
Sometimes, man, it's sometimes with some of these athletes, I mean, especially they come in and they just got to remain consistent.
Yeah,
And because you got these other athletes out there, and sometimes you can just get overshadowed, you can get overlooked. I've seen this a lot, in especially in the Olympias and stuff, where great athletes just get overlooked and stuff. But you just have to kind of be consistent, and
yeah.
just be very persistent at it.
So you
I
get
mean,
noticed.
remember now, Ronnie, his first series of Olympias, he was getting 18th and 16th and 12th, and
Yeah,
and same with Jay Cutler and stuff. It's just, he's just going to improve every year, a little bit more, a little bit more. He's on the right track, doing what he's doing, and he's just got to be consistent with it now.
let's keep on doing what he's doing.
Sometimes you're not going to change the dynamic in one cycle. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 cycles, 4 cycles before and they say, okay, we know what to expect from this guy and stuff. And
He did
yeah,
quite a few shows this last year. I think because he did Olympia too. I want to say that this was probably his fourth show this year. Presti was, I think, may even been more than
Okay.
that. I know he's been competing a lot, counting this show. So anyway, yeah, so that was a great show. Yeah, I love Samson. He's my dude. I like Samson. He's definitely my favorite bodybuilder.
Yeah,
You know that?
yeah, but he spoiled some competitors' plans because
Yes, he did.
now you're trying to qualify for the Olympia, and
Yep.
and he just took that qualification, because now
Because
you have to win,
he was
you
third. He
know.
was already invited because it's top three now, right? So
Right.
yeah,
But he just decided, oh well, hey, look, So that kind of took the wins out of some of those guys, because definitely it would have been the guy that took second. He would
Beirut,
have
yeah.
qualified. He would have been qualified for the Olympia. But
Now, do you think because Diasha is from the UK too?
right.
And do you think that might have been a maybe a rivalry between Samson and because why did he do the show? I love that he did, but why?
I think he used to qualify for the Olympia.
No, he's already qualified. Samson is.
No, Diasha. I
Yeah,
thought you.
Diasha is. But
Okay,
why
so
did
why do
Samson?
you think Samson did it?
Yes.
I don't know. They may have wanted to fiddle around with some stuff, just to see, how, they're probably experimenting with some stuff. I know Milos,
Probably
you
right.
know,
Yeah, yeah.
he's probably, hey, well, let's try this and this and let's do this show. It's not that far off. It's $10,000, which, I mean, you know, but let's give it a shot and let's see how it goes. Okay, let's do it.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's probably exactly what's going on because his final product was definitely different than Olympia. He wasn't as crisp, but he was fuller. He was bigger. So and it was a little slight difference. So you're probably right. It's exactly what
If
it is.
if I were him right now, if that's it, if he doesn't need the money, I would, at this point, he's already he got a big purse from the Olympia. He got a purse
Arnold.
from the Arnold. He got a fairly decent purse. He got a purse from the Olympia, and then he's got an extra 10 grand on top of this. I mean, what's his total earnings for the year here?
No,
I mean,
what do you get? They got 400 grand, right? Was it 400 grand or
well,
three?
I know he got six figures. He
Yeah,
took third, so it's six figures.
but the Arnold
The
was more
winner,
like
the winner got 400 grand, and I think second place is like 250, and in third place was,
second place was 400 grand this year.
huh?
Second place is 400 grand this year.
What was it? What did the winner get?
I think $800,000.
Really?
Yeah. But remember the Arnold was it was either 200 or $300,000 this year too. And he won
Right.
that. So maybe that's why they went up on the because I mean Hottie he pulled a $400,000 check. So for second. So I think it was
Okay.
800 grand for first.
So he got the same amount that he got last year,
Yeah.
because he won last year and he got 400,000.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
doubled it.
It must have, yeah.
Did they
Yeah.
double for everybody else?
I don't know. Okay, I'm trying to think. Classic. I think they got 200,000 or 150,000,
Okay, all right.
and then like fitness and figure and stuff. Like I think they got like 50 or something like that.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
normally they get about 20, don't they?
Yeah, so it seemed like all the winners should at least be in six figures, but
You should be, yeah. No matter
it
what.
just I guess I think this industry is generating enough revenue.
Yeah.
I think it's generating enough, to where you can give the winners, at least the winners need to get six figures.
What did you think? I know. Watching prejudging for the Olympia, it did not seem like that place was full. Now finals, it was full. It just seemed like a small venue. I don't know the venue, but
You couldn't see that much of it though.
no, you couldn't. You couldn't. No,
They didn't show, but I think they're going back to Vegas next year though.
they are. Yes. And yeah, I'm gonna be going there this year. But I mean, it's like you got during prejudging anyway. I think when Derek went up there, when Andrew Jack went up there, there's a couple guys that went up there, and you heard a little yeah in the audience, and that was all. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's telling me there's nobody there. But as much as it is to go there for prejudging, maybe that's why. But yeah, it just didn't seem like a full crowd. I don't know how big the place was.
Well, Well, I mean, you have so many divisions going on and stuff, and people, they don't stay for everything, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Bikini folks stay for, bikini, and bodybuilding stays for bodybuilding, and figure stays for figure. And so you got people going in and out, pretty much like regional shows and stuff like that. You got people going in and out all the time, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
So, still talking about the Olympia, I wanted to let you know, and I think you heard about this. Tyler Manning, he put out, on his Instagram page, he put out breakdowns on the because there's well, a lot of people think Hottie won. Okay,
Yeah,
so
he wanted to add some transparency to it, I
yes,
guess. Yeah.
which I appreciate him for that. Whether it shed light on me or not, I don't know if it did or not. I mean, it made sense, but he broke down each pose and said why Derek won or why Hottie won, which I thought was really cool because I have not seen that before. I think there was just so much controversy about it. People were asking questions, and so he had to do a video, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, it seemed like pretty much what basically what it's going to do is just going to echo with the sentiment of everybody and stuff, and keep in mind that Heidi won from the front and Derek won from the back.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
pretty much in a nutshell.
yeah. But you know what's weird? I think it was a side chest. I'd have to go back and look at it, but side chest, I believe Derek won on that one, which I
Okay.
thought was a little strange. Side tricep, I think he had him beat on the side too, which he had Derek in his his separation in his quads and his hamstrings and his glutes from the side. All of it was just so complete. But you had Hottie there, and he was just well, you know what he looked like, and it was like. So in my mind, I'm stuck on Hottie's chest, and I'm like, there's no way he lost this, right? But then so listening to this kind of shed some light because I started looking at other things. Like you're right, yeah, okay, I see the hamstring there, I see the separation of the glutes from the side, and all of that, so it shed a little bit of light. So if you guys think Hottie won like I do and Hottie does, go back and just check out his video because it's Tyler Manning. It's on his Instagram. He's the vice president of IFBB Pro League. So anyway, it'll shed some light on their scoring because even in the comments on there, people were not having it. So,
it's probably good that he did do that, but I don't think it's going to change a lot of minds and
no,
stuff.
it won't.
I think we'll just see what the next Olympia holds for
Yeah,
the most part.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
And you know what Hottie's doing right now? he's
yeah.
he's getting ready for next year with a vengeance.
He's probably taking no time off.
Hell no, he's not. Hell no, he's not. He's hitting it. He is hitting it.
He
Probably
is right back on
back.
but I think this is completely his lifestyle though. I don't think there is an all season format.
And that's why I love about this sport is because this right here is what I live for because I'm gonna wait all the way till next year because I want to see what Hottie's doing. I want to see him come back and win. You know what I mean? And who knows who's gonna come up in the meantime. I mean, we got Nick Walker who's going to be
actually that would definitely be some equity for him. I mean, he's got to open up a little bit more. I don't know how much politics played in this, but
yeah,
Derek's already had a guest posing and stuff, and he's already out and about. He's
right.
He's trying to be an ambassador to the sport. Now, granted, I do agree that the best physique on stage is the physique that should win, not the one that best represents. But although that would be a very good thing,
Yeah,
that would be a very good thing and stuff. But I get it.
yeah, and you're right. That's my only argument with Hottie. I mean, he won fair and square last year, hands down. But he hasn't been the best representative of the sport because you're right. In the last year, you've only seen him a couple times. He's put out a couple updates. He hasn't done any guest posing. And maybe that's just a thing because he's all the way over there in Iran. Maybe it's a little harder to get over here. For that kind of stuff,
there may be some things that he cannot control,
So, I know it's just like even with Big Rammy, it took him a while to be able to get over here, remember? To be able to compete. So I mean, that's a thing too, obviously. If you can't get over here, you're kind of asked out on that. But I would like to see him more on social media.
But this one they can do social media where they are though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they can reach the American audience and all the other because these guys, I mean, they got followers all over the world. People all over the world follow Hottie.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got to be he's it's especially when if you're getting 800 grand, along with all the other perks that go with being a Mr. Olympia, you gotta you gotta represent,
You got to
and as a matter
represent.
of fact, that sets the stage for you for the next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like he's gonna fall off. I mean, I've never
No.
seen Marty out of shape.
And do you think it might be just something you just kind of keeping wrapped up and under closed doors for everybody to be guessing what he's doing and what he's looking like and how he's going to be? You think it might have something to do with that? He wants the surprise element, or
I mean, that may have something to do with it, but the days of the shadows, like Dorian Yates, he would come and destroy people and go back into his little hobbit hole and stuff. I mean, his dungeon, and that had a mystique about it. But that was those times. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that worked back then.
yeah,
But that doesn't quite work nowadays. You know what I
it
mean?
doesn't. No.
You got different generations, the whole nine yards. I mean, so yeah,
Because
you
back then
got
you
to.
had DVDs. You had DVDs. You want to see Dorian Yates? You got to buy one of his DVDs and watch him
Right,
train.
I mean, or wait for
So
the magazines to come out and stuff.
yeah, wait for
That's
Flex
about
to
it.
come out or
You know,
Muscular Development or something. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
yeah,
So anyway, I thought that was cool that Tyler did that. That was pretty important. I didn't think of that. I actually ran across it the other day. I think I seen another. Is it Plumbo was talking about it, so I looked it up and watched it
yeah.
stuff. So because people are a little upset in how he handled himself and all that, which I get it, man. I totally get it. I get it. So
I didn't think he was. I mean, it's not like he just walked off. You
no,
know,
he gave him a hug, told him
you know.
congratulations, got a
And
picture.
he hugged him, congratulating the whole night because they're teammates and stuff. And he walked up. Yeah. Now, granted, I mean, okay, all right, you know, that was not cool. I remember, and what it was the yes. As a matter of fact, I competed in that one. It was the USA's. It was in Denver, and Craig Titus lost to Phil Hernan, and he just walked off the stage.
Oh, geez,
So
how did that end up?
well, they I think I can't remember who the MC was. They're trying to get him to get him back on the stage and stuff, but yeah, it
At
was
that point, you're not
not
coming
a, it
back.
was not a, it was not a good thing. But the thing about it is, and he was still an amateur, so he did end up winning the nationals,
Mhm.
So and he became a pro then. So, but
Was it
yeah,
was it controversial his loss, or what do you think?
no, well, Phil was looking really good, Phil, and I could have had him winning,
Okay.
so yeah.
And that's got to happen from time to time, I'm sure. But I'd like to think the IPB Pro League won't do stuff like that. It should be the best guy up there that wins. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, none of that. It should be the best competitor up there wins that day and at that time. And
Right.
that's how it needs to be.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And politics and representative and all that stuff aside, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I mean, that's how I see it,
Yeah.
so.
Well, I'm a fan of both of them. You know that. So I'm a fan of Derek and I'm a fan of Hottie. So I'll be watching. And Derek, yeah, you're right. He was out guest posing. He did a guest pose last weekend. He's very, very active on social media, even with Evogen
Yeah,
and
I mean,
himself.
he's almost in that that realm of Chris Bumstead,
Yeah, he is. He is.
he
That started from last Olympia. He had a lot of followers before, but before last Olympia, I just heard his name, maybe about 6 months before the last Olympia last year. And I heard about it because he was in 212 before that. And I didn't really pay attention to 212 back then. But at any rate, he grew quick, like his social media following, and that's because he puts the time in there. Everybody, Derek, you can watch him and you can feel like you know him.
yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
very transparent. He's
Yeah, it's
humble.
very approachable.
He's approachable. He's a nice guy. Like,
And a
good
person of
represent.
his stature, I mean, he's just ginormous. I mean, he could easily be very intimidating, but
Yeah.
he's just very approachable, and And that's huge for bodybuilding, actually.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, that's how Arnold was, right? That's pretty much paving the way for bodybuilding as far as in the media sense was Arnold Schwarzenegger, just because he had that personality about him,
Yeah, they call Arnold back then. They call him the Ali of bodybuilding. Because Muhammad Ali, he was very charismatic and he helped the sport of boxing. I mean, he elevated the sport of boxing just being the type of person that he was.
Uh-huh.
And they said Arnold in bodybuilding at that time was equivalent to that. So yeah.
That's a good thing. The only difference was Arnold had an ego. I don't see much of an ego with Lunsford. Now he should have an ego. He deserves to have an ego, but he doesn't. He doesn't. He's not like that. He's just not like that. That's cool.
Doesn't seem like it anyway.
No,
at least from what we can tell so far.
We can tell,
we don't know the other sides of him, but from what you can tell, I mean, hey, he's very approachable, and that is huge in bodybuilding. It really is.
Yeah. Because Ramy wasn't. I mean, Ramy's an extremely nice guy too. But he wasn't really in the social media eyes too much.
It's almost like he wasn't really a socialite. You know what I mean?
No.
Lunsford, he's a bit more of a socialite. I mean,
yes,
he's out and about, and he's doing those things and stuff. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know about Hottie. I know that he has a pretty approachable personality and stuff. But like I said, I think there's some situations that are just beyond his control.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
And with the state of the state of current events, I mean, it's got to be very difficult for him sometimes.
That sucks. I do remember, which I know we have a video on this actually, but last year's Olympian Hottie, when he won, I don't remember what it was, but he made some kind of comment, and it was something political going on over there, and people made several videos about how he might be a threat to his life on whatever it was. I just can't remember what it was.
Okay.
He had said something he probably shouldn't have, being where he lives. Mm-hmm. I'll have to look that up and let you guys know next week. But yeah, there was something like that. So you're right. His hands might be behind his back, and we wouldn't know. How would you know? So
yeah,
I
said, that's water under the bridge. That Olympia, we need to look forward to the next Olympia. It's going to be in Vegas.
Yes, sir.
And we are anticipating the top 3 to be back.
Yep.
Okay. And let's see. I'm gonna really be curious to see what's going on in Hottie's mind and how they're going to. He knows, okay, I'm not gonna bring the same package that I brought last time. What is that package going to look like?
Yeah, what is it going to look like this time? Okay, real quick. We got a couple minutes left. When do you think his best physique was on the Olympia stage? Because a lot of people say that this year wasn't his best physique.
Yeah, but I think he may have suffered a little bit in the back. His front was still good. Apparently, his front is stronger than his back, unlike Derek, whose back is stronger than his, is stronger than his front. Okay, and they say in maybe in an attempt to get a little bigger, to come in a little bigger, that maybe he suffered just a little bit in the back. It's not like his back was bad. It's just that Derek's back was just so freaking good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I actually saw him. I'm actually seeing his back tighter. Okay.
Right.
I mean, just a little, especially in the glute area and stuff. Because
and that was what year was that?
Glutes are like shredded.
Yeah.
And they weren't quite as shredded this time.
No, they weren't this year. No, not as because
but from the front, I mean,
oh, hands down. Yeah. If he looked like that from the back, he'd be unstoppable for now.
I mean, he would do a bike shot, and it would go all the way down to his hip.
Right.
You could see his intercostals all the way down to his hip. I mean that's crazy.
Yeah, hell yeah, it's awesome.
Striations across the chest, striations across the delts, the whole 9 yards. Derek didn't have, not to that degree. He didn't have that to that degree from the front. But then you turn around and he had the same thing.
In the back, yeah, you're right. Do you think it might be a muscle maturity thing with Derek because his chest wasn't as good last year? It's gotten bigger. Do you think it just might be a muscle maturity thing with that?
Well, everybody's got something. Even Olympians have something.
Yeah.
Everybody has got something. Even the GOAT Ronnie Coleman, he had the really, 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 really thin, tricep. His big head was nice and round and stuff, but that outer head, it was just, and that's just his MO. That's his genetic
Yeah.
makeup. He
Yeah.
did not have the outer tricep head that Phil Heath had. Phil Heath's
Yeah.
outer tricep head is bigger than some people's arms. You know what I mean? So, just his outer head of the tricep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's some people just don't have it. It's like with Phil. Phil did great delts. His delts are just off the charts, but his clavicles were shorter. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Derek's clavicles are longer than Phil Heath's.
They probably are. Yeah.
But Phil Heath's delts are like off the freaking chart, though.
Right.
Like I said, every even Olympia's had something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. We know we're probably not going to see Derek on stage or Hottie on stage until the Olympia. Hopefully we do, but
well, no, because Derek did a guest posing. Just
we might
last
see some
weekend.
guest posing, and he looked phenomenal too.
Yeah,
at his guest posing
he
too.
did guest
So
posing. He did guest posing, just and so I think he's going to try to make that case that, hey, look, I am a great representative. And there are some intangibles to this thing.
and I think he
you know,
is, as far as the representative part, I think he is the best representative for IFBB right now. I think Nick Walker would be another good one, if he was to win. Well, so would
Nick
Sam. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, Nick's out there.
But yeah, I mean, they're the people's choice. Everybody knows them, everybody loves them, and they're approachable. They put themselves out there. You know everything about them.
Didn't Derek get the people's choice this time at the Olympia?
He did. Yeah. Yep. He got people's choice this time. Yeah. So
wow.
But he's probably tripled his following since last year. So, I mean, he's got quite a big following. I had to look it up, but he's got a pretty big following.
And that's the state of bodybuilding now. Is the times of the 80s where you had to get a contract, or you either got on a Weeder magazine or some other magazine, and I mean, those days it's self-promotion now. You know what I mean?
It is.
It's definitely self-promotion. Social media. We did not have social media whatsoever back then.
Yeah.
And
all right. Well, we're about out of time here, Donnie. It's going to shut off here in a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will see you guys next week, and I will see you this week.
Yes, like and subscribe, please.
Like and subscribe, you guys. Yeah. Any comments? We'd love to hear them.